Welcome to the October 27th, 2021 meeting of the Town of Southampton Conservation Board. Due to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic and in accordance with Chapter 417 of the laws of 2021, until January 15th, 2022, all of the board's meetings are expected to be held remotely via video conference. So we ask the public to continually check the town's website for updates and new information. As a reminder, applicants, agents, and members of the public who speak at this meeting should state their name and address for the record. The link to participate in this meeting via Zoom can be found on the town's website at the town clerk's meeting portal. If you do not wish to speak at the meeting, but you would like to submit comments for the public record, the link to submit comments can also be found on the town's website. So we have a full board attendance except for Tom Rickenbach. He indicated he was not going to be able to make it tonight. So we'll continue with the meeting. And we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please join together. I pledge allegiance
to the flag
of the United States of
America,
and to the republic
for which
it stands,
one nation,
under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Public hearings. A020025 James Esposito and Jennifer Esposito. And the applicant requests an adjournment to 12/8/21. Is there anyone in the public, Charlie, with their hand raised who wants to speak at this?
I'm letting them in now.
motion to adjourn.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me. They have the right to speak, but I want them to understand that the applicant is not here. Okay. Martha, Dave. We are on the James Esposito and Jennifer Esposito. This has been opened, so you do have the right to speak if you wish. And is that why you're here?
They're both muted, Harry.
Yeah, you're both.
Hi, Harry. We're here for the next public hearing, Sudan.
Okay. So let's continue then. George, you made a motion to adjourn to 12.
Motion to adjourn to December 8th, 2021.
Second.
All in favor? Harry, aye. George,
All right.
Tom,
Aye.
Sunshine,
Aye.
Ann,
Aye.
Gary.
Aye.
The next public hearing is A020049 John J. Sudam and Mary T. Sudam. And Martha, is this your application or David?
It's Dave. It's really Dave's application, so I'm going to let him speak on it.
Okay.
Hi, Martha. Thank you. David Provencher, Coastline Consulting and Development, here on behalf and with Martha on behalf of the Sudam family. Since the last public hearing was continued, I was present there and gave an overview of the project. We've worked closely with Marty Shea on providing additional information and addressing his concerns. And I believe we've come to an agreement. I'm sure Marty could speak to it in greater detail, but that's sort of the status of the application at this time.
Thank you, David. Marty?
Sure, Marty Shea, Chief Environmental Analyst for the town. As the board recalls, and as was spoken to at the first public hearing, the application has been made in order to legalize bulkhead and deck construction, inclusive of a walkway that leads from the residence down to the existing bulkhead. As was indicated by the applicant, I had provided recommendations with regards to on-site mitigation, including suggestion that the size of the waterside deck be reduced. I'd also asked that the bluff or embankment above the bulkhead, that area, which is steeply sloped and mostly naturally vegetated, that that area be established as a covenanted, naturally vegetated wetland, non-disturbance, non-fertilization buffer, with agreement with regards to some needed supplemental native revegetation within any bare areas of the slope where the vegetation is likely to take. I say that because there are sections that get heavily impacted by wave overtop, where plugging or planting is unlikely to be successful. And then there's a level area of bare sand alongside the bulkhead, where there's a need for planting natural vegetation as well. The existing bluff water access stairway needs to be legalized. It was constructed using vinyl materials. Typically, we look for such access stairways to be constructed with light penetrable decking, supported by treated wood posts. I asked the applicant give consideration, and their preference is that the walkway and stairs and landings not be reconstructed with the suggested environmentally compatible materials until that stairway is in disrepair or needs to be reconstructed. I have agreed with the applicant's preference on that. I had made certain recommendations in terms of the size of the deck footprint that I think should be achieved through scaling back of the existing deck area. The applicant has agreed to scale back the deck a little bit less than I had suggested, but I think their request is reasonable, and I have indicated that I would support their alternative deck reduction plans. I had also initially suggested that the vinyl stairs leading down bulkhead to the water, that they either be seasonally repaired or replaced with a ladder or seasonal stairway. They have indicated that's fine as long as they can have a hoist above the bulkhead in order to retract those stairs and reset those stairs when needed. I think that request is reasonable as well. So I have agreed to that. The applicant has come back with, as indicated, some recommended refinements to my earlier suggestions. That being said, the recommended naturally vegetated wetland, non-disturbance, non-fertilization buffer, which would extend from the bulkhead to the crest of the bluff. They have agreed to establish that in order to offset environmental impacts. So in sum, we have come to agreement that the existing bulkhead should be legalized. Regarding that, the bulkhead lies between two existing bulkheads. One of those bulkheads are actually higher than the applicant's bulkhead. So unless someone was to come forward with a regional shoreline restoration plan, there are really no other options at this time with and no other options to legalize in the bulkhead. The property does have a history of a pre-existing timber bulkhead. The new bulkhead is constructed of vinyl materials, which is more environmentally compatible. So that gives you a quick summary of some of the items that were discussed. As indicated, the applicant and I have come to agreement with regards to the project refinements that are being desired by the applicant. So I think we do have sufficient information at this time to make a determination. So I am recommending that the public hearing be closed tonight.
Thank you, Marty. And Martha, do you want to add anything?
No, I have nothing to add. You know, if the board wishes to close the public hearing, we have no objection to that.
Are you sure, Martha?
I'm sure.
Is there, Charlie, is there anyone in the public that wants to speak to this on this application? Anybody with their hands up?
No, sir.
Would someone care to make a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Second,
All in favor? Harry, I. George,
Aye.
Sunshine,
aye.
Ann,
Aye.
Jerry.
Aye.
Did I skip Tom? Tom, I skipped you.
Tom, aye. It's okay.
Sorry. Thank you. And thank you, David, for your work on this, and Marty.
Thank you.
Great, thank you all. Yeah, and thank you, Marty.
Thank you.
The next application is A021050 Graham Broyd. And I believe this has been open but not heard yet.
Yes, it has been open.
Once again, Charlie, do you see anybody in the audience with their hands up? Yep, again,
There's no one here.
okay. The applicant requests an adjournment. Marty, any idea how much time they need?
Yeah, the applicant's requested an adjournment to December 22nd.
Motion to adjourn to December 22nd, 2021.
Second,
All in favor? Harry, aye. Let's see, that's me. Okay, sorry about that. So where were we now? It's been moved in second to adjourn. I said aye, and George,
Aye.
Tom,
Aye.
Sunshine,
Aye.
Ann,
aye.
Jerry.
Aye.
Thank you. That concludes the public hearings, the advisory reports for the planning board. Shrion, Fink, and Miller.
Yeah, this is a lot line modification that's pending before the planning board. It relates to two residentially developed properties on McGee Street in the hamlet of Tuckahoe. I did have the opportunity to meet with one of the landowners recently. As you can see, one of the two lots is fairly large, the other is quite small. The lot line modification would expand the size of the small lot in order to include a significant portion of the north sector of the southerly lot. In addition to the existing residences and accessory improvements, there are some wooded areas in the north portion of the tract. So I did have an opportunity to look at the wooded areas with the applicant. There is what doesn't show up on this map is there is an existing recharge basin along the western property boundary. That recharge basin is flooded, so it is regulated as wetlands pursuant to Chapter 325. So the first recommended advisory comment indicates the presence of that recharge basin, notes that it's flooded bottomland is regulated as wetlands. In the case of wetlands associated with a water recharge basin, although the wetland permitting jurisdiction extends 200 feet, the requirements for buffering are minimal in that only a 25-foot wide buffer is required. So the second comment advises the planning board of the need to establish a buffer, taking in the portions of the tract within 25 feet of wetlands. The third comment indicates that any approval of the transfer map should be conditioned upon filing of a notice covenant, which would advise future owners of the subject lot, in particular lot 1, that the lot is adjacent to town regulated wetlands, and as such, town wetland permits may need to be required in the future. The fourth comment indicates that due to the presence of wetlands, a section 292-39B referral needs to be made by the planning board to the conservation board. The fifth comment recommends that a 25-foot buffer be established along the northerly property line because the tract's adjacency to a golf course. The buffer would provide a valued screen for the residential property owners. And the last comment indicates that the northerly portion of the tract contains quite a number of large mature trees that provide significant environmental benefits. I have asked the landowner whether or not they would have an interest in preserving the large trees, because once the lot line modification is approved, they want to establish significant lawn in that area, and they have agreed to the recommended tree protection measures. So The comment recommends that all trees with a diameter at breast height of 12 inches or greater be identified on the survey and earmarked for preservation, consistent with the landowner's desires as well.
Motion to send those comments to the planning board.
Second.
All in favor? Harry, I. George,
Aye.
Tom,
Aye.
Sunshine?
Aye.
Anne,
Aye.
Gary? BH 680 LLC.
This is a residential subdivision application that's in the pre-application stage before the planning board. It relates to a track on Scuttle Road in the hamlet of Bridgehampton. There are several recommendations. The first indicates that the track is located outside of the town's wetland permitting jurisdiction. Second comment notes that the track is situated within the town's aquifer protection overlay district. However, it's exempted from regulation under those provisions, as the clearing at the site, which is substantial, predates the effective date of section 330-67A. The third comment notes that there are several significant trees at the site that warrant protection. They are being impacted by aggressive Norway ivy. The recommendation is made that the applicant agree to a tree protection and maintenance plan whereby the ivy would be managed. The landowner has actually started some of that ivy management. So this recommendation would be consistent with the landowner's current management of the trees.
Motion to send those comments to the planning board.
Second.
All in favor? Harry, I. George,
Aye.
Tom,
Aye.
Sunshine,
Aye.
Anne,
Aye.
Gary?
Aye.
For the ZBA, Dilip Patel and Subji Kaur Shillon.
This is a pending variance application for the zoning board of appeals for an existing residentially developed property on the north side or west side of Edgemere Drive in the hamlet of North Sea. First comment indicates that the premises for which side yard and pyramid variance are being sought contains extensive town and state regulated freshwater wetlands. You can see in the interior and in the southerly portion of the property, there is an extensive freshwater pond. Property also fronts the little bay to the north, so the lot is severely constrained. The variance application has been made in order to construct a significant addition on the west side of the house. The second comment indicates that we had issued a letter of non-jurisdiction for activities on the property, but that was solely for interior renovations, not to increase the living floor area. So the addition that's planned does require a town wetland permit. Third comment indicates that a wetland boundary flagging application needs to be submitted, as the town wetland boundary is not currently shown on the drawing. And the last comment indicates that in light of the severe wetland constraints, granting of the requested variances would result in a significant increase in the degree of wetland nonconformity, and thus cannot be supported at this time by the Conservation Board.
Motion to send those comments to the ZBA.
Second.
Second.
All in favor? Harry, I. George,
Aye.
Tom,
Aye.
Sunshine,
Aye.
Ann,
Aye.
and Jerry.
Aye.
The administrative wetland permits are in your packets. We'll move on for conditional resolution of conditional approval. And the first is A 020071 Paula McKinnon Lajani and Anthony Viscagliosi. Any discussion?
Move to issue.
Second.
Resolve that a conditional wetland permit approval granted to Paula McKinnon Lajani for the proposed project upon the terms and conditions set forth therein. All in favor? Harry, I. George,
Aye.
Tom,
Aye.
Sunshine.
Aye.
Ann,
Aye.
Jerry,
Aye.
and A 021017 Lawrence Stolier and Melissa Stoller, I guess it is. Any discussion?
Move to issue.
Is
Second.
there resolve that a conditional wetland permit approval granted to Lawrence Stoller and Melissa Stoller for the proposed project upon the terms and conditions set forth therein. All in favor? Harry, I. George,
Aye.
Tom,
Aye.
Sunshine,
Aye.
Ann, Ann,
Aye.
Jerry,
Aye.
A 021030 Charles Truns II. Any discussion?
Move to issue.
Second.
Resolve that a conditional wetland permit approval granted to Charles Truns, this, let's see, the second or it looks like the third. For the proposed project upon the terms and conditions set forth therein. All in favor? Harry, I. George,
Aye.
Tom,
Aye.
In the middle of the meeting.
Sunshine,
Aye.
Ann,
Aye.
Jerry,
Aye.
A 021045 Dean Del Pret and Tara Del Pret. Any discussion?
Move to issue.
Second.
Resolve that a conditional wetland permit approval granted to Dean Del Pret and Tara Del Pret for the proposed project upon the terms and conditions set forth therein. All in favor? Harry, I. George,
Aye.
Tom,
Aye.
Sunshine,
Aye.
Ann, Jerry.
Aye.
A 021046 Jonathan Martin. Any discussion?
Move to issue.
Second.
Resolve that a conditional wetland permit approval granted to Jonathan Martin for the proposed project upon the terms and conditions set forth therein. All in favor? Harry, I. Jerry, or rather George,
Aye.
Tom,
Aye.
Sunshine,
Aye.
Ann,
Aye.
Jerry.
Aye.
Preliminary review secret determination A 021035 Eugenio Presta.
This application relates to an existing developed property on the east side of Dune Road in the hamlet of West Hampton. The site is marked by an uninhabited, elevated one-story house that is in a deteriorated state. There is also attached deck, both at grade and elevated at the rear of the lot that is likewise in disrepair. The applicant is seeking a permit in order to renovate the house and construct a second-story addition, as well as to reconstruct the elevated deck while removing the at-grade deck. There is also an elevated wood stairway leading to the beach that is in the process of collapsing. So the applicant is looking to reconstruct that access as well. Upon receipt of this application, I inspected the site and found that the wetlands had migrated significantly landward. So there is an updated survey that now shows a present wetland boundary right up against the rear decks. We had, in the midst of reviewing this application, we received a notice from the New York State DEC that application had been made to that office to install vertical rock armor along the shoreline. While those activities are perhaps regulated by the Board of Trustees, the project is classified as an unlisted action pursuant to seeker. So notwithstanding whether or not the board has jurisdictional authority related to Chapter 325 over the rock armor, the board will need to consider the environmental impacts of both the planned home expansion and the rock armor. So there is a preliminary advisory report on file dated October 19, 2021, which speaks to some of the concerns regarding potential adverse impacts to wetlands and the environment. I have recommended that a public hearing be held. I communicated with the applicant today and yesterday, and they're in the process of revisiting the plans. We're looking to schedule a joint site meeting sometime in the future prior to the public hearing. So the applicant is considering whether or not to go forward with rock armor portion of the application. But at this time, we do need to schedule a public hearing.
Motion to schedule a public hearing for December 8th, 2021.
Second.
Resolved that the Town Conservation Board hereby schedules the public hearing for December 8th, 2021, and the notice of public hearing be published in the town designated newspaper pursuant to Chapter 325, Section 325-8C of the Town Code. All in favor? Harry, I. George?
Aye.
Tom?
Aye.
Sunshine?
Aye.
Ann?
Aye.
Jerry?
Aye.
A021079, Barbara Rosenthal.
This property relates to an existing residentially developed parcel that has frontage on the Reed's Bay. It contains considerable tidal and freshwater wetlands. It also abuts county preserved land. This is an area that was severely impacted by Superstorm Sandy. This was one of the first areas that I visited in the aftermath of the storm. The waterside home was heavily damaged, both by the flood surge and the wind impacts. The interior residents also suffered significant damage to its block foundation, and the majority of the private road and developed area was underwater. The board had issued a permit some years ago in order to allow the landowner to demolish and reconstruct the seaside home and to build the new elevated two-story FEMA compliant residence. Authorization was also granted to elevate the interior home and to reconstruct the attached deck as well. Initially, a conventional septic system was going to be put in to serve both of the residences. In response to my recommendation some years ago, the landowner had come forward with a plan to install an IAOWTS. They received a modified wetland permit in order to do that. That new system has been installed, and the landowner was fortunate to receive considerable assistance from the county and the town in order to upgrade the system. The interior residence has already been elevated. The attached new elevated deck has been partially reconstructed. There is a need to reconfigure parts of that deck in order to traverse the mounded septic system and provide safe access to the home. They have not yet demolished the seaside homes, the seaside home. Their permit and modified permit had expired, so this application needed to be made in order to get a new permit to reauthorize the same activities with minor refinements, subject to the same conditions that the landowner is yet amenable to. Those conditions included, among others, establishment of a covenanted wetland preservation area and naturally vegetated buffers. I did have an opportunity to meet with a landowner at the site during the last week, and the buffers are in compliance, and the required covenants were recorded with the county. So the parameters of the redevelopment of this site really have not significantly changed. The site conditions have not changed. The redevelopment of this property has been prolonged just because despite the assistance that the landowner has received, the work is somewhat costly. So they are looking, though, to complete the project. So they're simply looking for the board to reauthorize and re-permit the activities that were previously approved in order to flood-proof these homes and to ensure that there are no future risk of hurricane or storm damage at this site. So this is an application for which we have sufficient information to make a determination. As such, recommending that the hearing requirement be waived.
Motion waive the public hearing?
Second.
Second.
Resolved that the Town Conservation Board hereby waives the public hearing requirement pursuant to Chapter 325, Section 325-80 of the Code. All in favor? Harry, aye. George?
Aye.
Tom?
Aye.
Sunshine?
Aye.
Ann?
Aye.
And Jerry?
Aye.
Resolution to issue modification, the CB 19061, Christopher W. Beal and Francesca M. Beal.
This application relates to property that's undergoing redevelopment pursuant to Conservation Board permit on Cobb Isle Road in the hamlet of Watermill. The applicant actually decided to reduce the size of the residential footprint within the parameters of the previously approved footprint. I did have an opportunity to inspect the premises. The work is proceeding well. The covenanted wetland preservation area and naturally vegetated buffer that was required and had been established is well secured by existing project limiting fences. One of the conditions on the original permit was that a very large sycamore tree be preserved in order to ensure that that tree was not impacted by the construction. They actually balled and burlapped that tree and moved it on the property to a different location at a harm's way. The tree is in great health. It's being irrigated. As soon as they complete construction, they're going to return that tree to its intended location, consistent with the approved buffer restoration plan. So this is an application that's most welcome, as the modification to the permit will result in a reduction of the footprint of the residents and thereby lessening its impact on the environment. So the resolution before you is to modify the existing permit in order to allow the landowner to go forward with these changes. Thank you.
Is there a motion?
Motion issued the modification.
Resolved that a wetland permit modification be issued to Christopher W. Beal and Francesca M. Beal for the proposed project upon the terms and conditions set forth herein. All in favor? Harry, I. George,
Aye.
Tom,
Aye.
Sunshine,
Aye.
Ann,
Aye.
Gary,
Aye.
and that concludes the meeting.
Right. You
Wait.
still have the minutes.
Yeah, we haven't done
Oh,
that.
Yeah.
I completely skipped the minutes. So it doesn't conclude the meeting after all. All right, is there a motion to accept the minutes of October 13th, 2021?
So move.
Second.
Moved and seconded, all in favor? Harry, I. George,
Aye.
Tom,
Aye.
Sunshine,
Aye.
Ann,
Aye.
Gary.
Aye.
All right, anything else?
Bedtime.
Dinner time.
Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to
So
adjourn.
moved.
Second.
All in favor? Harry, I. George,
Aye.
Tom,
Aye.
Sunshine,
Aye.
Ann,
Aye.
Gary.
Aye.